Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of the Foolsopolis here in City Skylines. But today, we have enabled the Super Demand mod again. I'm going to do it for this episode only again. I think I might kind of enable it intermittently throughout episodes. Because today I want to try and get as many residents in as I can. Now, what I'm aiming for is 400 residents in this episode. Whether we're going to get to or not is a completely different story. But we're going to try our best. Oh my goodness me, we have fire. We have oh my goodness me, we have fire! Hold on! I recently did an experimental video where I was doing forest fires and I just realized, oh my goodness me, I haven't got rid of the fact that the forest fires could spread. Whoopsie! I did an oopsie. Right, they're going to have to suffer a little bit of fire for now. I am so sorry, guys. I am so sorry. I've disabled the fire spreading. Please don't get mad at me. Please do not get mad at me. But there we go. How'd you like your vegetables? Crispy? There we go. There we go. But recently, guys, we're working this oil industry, and I want to let the city kind of settle for a little bit right now. I want to let it settle, and I want to fill in all the little nooks and crannies again. Now, we're about 65,000 residents away from 400,000. Not saying that I'm going to be able to get to it, but we're going to give it a good go. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to artificially inflate and fix the demands of each of these stuffs right now, residential, commercial and industrial, which will then kind of go on a growth spur. It will go ridiculously crazy. We're going to have problems because of it eventually, and we're going to have death waves and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I feel like we got a little bit of death going on right now, but hey ho. And like, I want to finish this area off, this little area off here, fill in all these little gaps within the inner city. The majority of the places where we're going to have the high density buildings, which can hold a lot of the population. So over here then, when you take a look at it in the zoning wise, we've got the residential in the middle, we've got the commercial on the outskirts. We need to do a little bit more zoning. So this is all part of the fun right now, guys, is zoning. Can't get enough of it, right? Yeah, right, Sonny. Yeah, right. Right, so if I can hit that, can I even get the 30? Are they going to play ball with me right now? Right, that should be it, but then again, that kind of throws us off. So 30, bam. Does that even look normal? I don't think it does. But we'll run that through anyway. It's slightly slanted, isn't it? I mean, that one's straight, but the other one's slightly slanted. But hey ho, here we go. And we'll bring it into here. Oh, the whole thing's all crooked. You know what? I'm going to keep it like that. It's like the city planners didn't know what they were doing. And I still don't know what I'm doing. Right, there we go. So I'm trying to kind of maximize as much space as I can. I'm going to get rid of the trees in here. I'm going to kind of keep this as it is. We'll keep the trees on that one. We'll keep it like this going through there. Ooh, can I not get that one? Boom, there we go. So with this then, we're obviously going to drop down some beautiful residential. Going all the way up to there. Bring it in all the way down to here. Feed it into there. Up to there. Gonna run it going down on the back just here and here as well. And then obviously commercial will run down to there. I won't do any just there. We'll kind of fill the rest of them with trees. I'm kind of leaving these spots open in case you do need to stick like some kind of a roundabout down. So back into play mode then, and let it do what it's got to do. So we'll save the industrial in this area for this little patch, since we've got all the industrial on this side anyway. And then we will continue those expansions. So, oh, I should have done it by 11, shouldn't I? Should have done it by an 11. There we go, to maximize our space. See, now that would be a... okay, so I need to come out by a... it would be a 29, which would be an 11. Yep. Even though it doesn't really work out that well. The whole thing seems just kind of... it doesn't feel like it's in line, does it? It's a weird one, how it's not perfectly aligned. I don't know how that happened. I honestly have no idea how it's happened. So if I run this down to there, which is then a 30. Okay, we'll do the 30 and connect in, because that will probably bridge over anyway. And then I'm going to run this all the way down trying to somewhat keep that grid format. Whether or not it's going to work is a completely different story. But I'm trying to keep it very, very gridded. I'm going to come off that, even though I don't think I should. So, bam, bam. Now, I don't know how this one's going to play out. This one's slightly larger than everything else. And then cutting across. So, we're trying to maximize as much space as we can. But, again, this is going to be the grid formatted area. Just because of how naturally we're in the inner city section. So, it is the most boring kind of part of the city in terms of creativity. It is the most boring part, but we can flare it up on the end a little bit. Like, we'll go one more here, bring it all the way down. So, obviously, we'll run this through as our little centerpiece. But then, it'll be stuff like, I could do the way this area works here, 10 by 10 by 10 by 10, just to kind of end that little section. And then I could do, I mean, how would a 20 by 20 work like there? So 20 by 21, unless I just kind of do it here. 10 by 10. Just kind of edge it off, and we can place all trees down, and it'll look really, really nice. Now, how high is that bridge? I think I'm going to save that again for industry. But there we go. Bit funky, but once we get all the kind of zoning in and all the buildings in, it will look like quite a nice little area. So, I'm going to zone the majority of this residential. Might seem a little bit crazy, but we will place down some commercial. Okay, residential. And then I'll go big on the commercial up to there. And I feel like we should kind of pick a little spot coming into this area where it is going to be commercial. So we'll go to here. I'll kind of widen that a little bit. But it's predominantly going to be commercial anyway. Now, did we have some public transport around here? No. So eventually we're going to have something over here. We're definitely going to incorporate the trams going round, which will then incorporate going that way. But we 100% going to incorporate the metro line. Again, I won't do it just now because I don't know how all the roads are going to play out. But I definitely want to... Do you know what? Actually, what I'll do... Right, what I'll do is to kind of just place down like a little bit of a placeholder station. And we'll do the one that kind of goes in all different directions. This one here. And I think to make it as locally as possible, having it there. So it's just a placeholder for now. It is just a placeholder for now. We'll eventually get it all connected up. So that's going to bring a lot of residents. I mean, you can already see my population growing. I've already gained an extra 5,000 residents just by slowly starting to build all this area. So we do also need to kind of think about not doing too many grids. Now, I'm wondering if I can get a connection from there to there and it looked really good. So if I kind of go quite big... Do you know what? That's perfect. Running that road round like this. That is really perfect right there. Because I could run that directly down. And hopefully that is going to be a straight line. That going across here is it's a 30. So that stays within the grid format, which is amazing. I'll get that running across. This running across. And then we'll get these running down. So even though that bends round, which is pretty cool, I still get to keep somewhat of a gridded format. So I'm going to go here then. Let's go by a 20 by a 20. If I can just... There we go. Get it in. We'll do a 10 by a 10. Oh, there we go. Which I'll run down by a 20. Down by a 20. And my options are I could either run it straight into here, which is probably not too much of a bad idea. And then I could keep that all as trees, because you kind of do want to breathe some life into these heavily polluted areas like the inner city side and things and all that. So keep that as it is. And we'll do some more residential and commercial zoning. Actually, no, I won't do any commercial zoning on this side. I feel like we've got quite a lot in. In replace, though, I'll build the industrial area. So this is where all these peeps will kind of be working. This is where we'll get them all in. So get that into there. Do I kind of zone some of this? You know, I'm going to zone it, and then the backs of it can be where the trees go. That's how we'll do it. There we go. There we go. Sweet, sweet, sweet. And last thing I want to do is the walkability. I want to really kind of play onto that. So coming from that little crossroads here, I'm going to do that going down to there, which should get them from point A to point B, so they can kind of then, if they wanted to, cross there. I mean, it seems a bit weird, but it's a quite a cool little thing. It kind of splits them all the way through, and they can get from point A to point B a whole lot quicker. So over here then, I'm going to kind of do the same thing. I'm going to run that to there, and then run that to there. I mean, it might not play out too well. And that touch is there, it's kind of fine. But it allows them to kind of crisscross and get, you know, over here a little bit easier. I'll do that one diagonal. I'll do one just here. Well, that's gone slightly diagonal as well, I don't like that. Right, run one just there. And did I ever do one here? Yeah, I did one there, which is all good. So that kind of gets them connected again. It kind of works, does what it needs to do. And then we're back up and running, boys. So we're going to build this little industrial area right now. Look at, oh my, I've gained 10,000 people. Could 400,000 be on the cards in today's episode? Maybe. Maybe. So running this up, now I've got the option to where I could potentially, yo, that is a straight run, isn't it? Okay, so that becomes quite handy with trying to divert the traffic in directions. So running you, I've got this underneath here, which I can run straight along as well. So if I carried that up to there, now that should be directly to here. Yes. Now the industrial area, you kind of do want to make it as gritty as possible, because that is the easiest way to kind of maximize the zoning and the productivity and the jobs. So going like this, of course I'm going to need the kind of the cut through roads. Is that a perfect one? Is that a perfect alignment? It actually is. Oh my god. See, it's all working, guys. It's now legit all working. I mean, I could run that directly up to there, but I feel like it's a little bit too close. How sunken is that? Because I could, at the same time, cut straight over. So I could pick like a road that came out here. And then I could choose a 6. Oh, come on. Game. Come on. 6x6 bend. Then by keeping this elevated, which we'll have to kind of bring it up. What's going on here? What is going on here? Alright, from there to there. Elevated up. It becomes a little cut-through road. Now, is it high enough? Yeah. I mean, the wires don't touch the bottom of it. So, yeah, that's perfect. That's pretty perfect. So now I've got that kind of additional cut-through area, which is pretty handy to get to, which also then makes it kind of accessible for this side. So if I came out by a 15, 25, I'm going to utilize that as some kind of unique area. We'll keep it like that. I think it'll be kind of cool. So options are running this down here. It's probably the better option to maximize the grids. And I'm just going to run that across through the middle. Something a little bit different. So what it allows us to do, and having all these little through roads, these little cut through, you know, cut roads and all that, it enables the traffic to get through and not all use the same type of road, which is really, really handy. Now, we're going to implement some kind of industrial zoning. And I've got to be careful with this as well, because obviously this dirty industry does breed traffic. So we would kind of want it in an area where they can get in and out easier. So we've got that little run going out to there. I have these runs going out straight out here onto there, so they can get to where they need to get to, which is pretty good. And I'm going to run that there, and then to save the pollution, because there will be pollution, we do all this offices, I'm going to zone to their offices. We're going to zone just to here offices to kind of avoid the highway, which should work out pretty well. And then if I zone all of this section here, so the gaps in the middle could be trees, but because it's offices, it shouldn't be pollution. So we can kind of fill all of that in. And again, do the same thing for this as well. All the offices. I know it's a lot of offices, but it allows us then to kind of tree off these areas, to breathe a bit of life, to kind of suck the pollution and the noise levels out of the inner city vibes that we've got going on. 15,000 residents we've now gained. Let's talk about that. Damn! That's a lot of people, isn't it? That is a lot of people. So, treeing this then. I'm going to quickly pause. We're going to drop some trees just in there. I'm going to bring this brush size down too. In there, in there. Going to try and run some trees right now as much as I can. At some point, we're going to hit a tree limit in the game. We just have to, don't we? Oh, I don't want trees right against the train tracks. How did I do it down here? Oh, I did. Okay, apparently it's not a problem. And then running this around here. And I'll end it there because ultimately I don't know what I'm doing in that area. Hold on. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Am I allergic to these trees? Is it the pollen? From the vegetation? It's not really vegetation, is it? I'm now choking. I'm dying from trees. Well, I'm going to tree this area off here. Very good, very good. And then just down to there, which I know it's going to be all pollution. But I want to see the trees. I want to see the trees. I want some greenery in those little areas. Right, anyway, so that does what it's now going to do. That will then increase our population. So that's a lot of people in this kind of small little area. Which, of course, it's going to need its services. So if I start with the policing. That's not policing, that's the fire Soniac. And get the large police towers. To be honest with you, I could place all the services within this little section. But I think it'll be a bit weird. So I won't. I'll drop the huge police station just there, which will then increase the coverage. The fire station, I'll do one there. I'm going to do multiple of these because we've got so much industrial around here that I'll squeeze one there as well. So really up the fire coverage. That'll be really, really handy. In terms of medical then, we need to get the big life center hospital down. We don't really have one in this area. So I'll get this right on the edge of there, which it also provides some kind of health facilities for this little city or little village over that side too. So that really ups our kind of capacity as well. And then of course the death care. I was going to save this for quite a nice little area, but I reckon I could squeeze a bunch of like better crematoriums in here. I'm trying to think the best way to do this. Maybe going around the edge. Have a load in the center. Oh, I was going to anarchy that in. For the funsies. There we go. It creates quite a cool little building. The Death Square. The Square of Death. But that does provide a lot of hearses. And we should put them to the 10 capacity hearses as well. Because then they can carry more bodies. Lots of vehicles. Look how many vehicles are coming out. Yikes. So many vehicles. But at the same time, I do need that capacity. Right, I think I've got them all. Did I get this one? No. So much capacity right now, it's unreal. But that'll work in our favour. That will really, really work in our favour right now. So the only thing that's really missing from here right now would be the actual public transport. So let's take a look now then. What will be the next little nook and cranny to kind of get in? I mean, we've got lots of trees in some of these areas. I mean, we are looking at this kind of side right now, but how residential do I want this area to be? I mean, then again, we do have some residents over here. So it might kind of be important. So if I ran this going up as a connecting road to push through, I could then run that to there and connect in. And then run this so far up. Let's just say here. Because it becomes like then a through road if I want to continue to connect. And running that down to... trying to get that in there. There we go. Will be our little snap. I'm just wondering how far I can continue this gridded format with the roads kind of starting to curve. That's what's interesting me right now. I think we're going to have to break it up at this point. So if I go by a 10, I'm looking at, what is it, a 6 by 6? It's about there, isn't it? Okay, we'll do 5 by 6. I'm not going to get the 6 perfect because it kind of flutters to a 7. To kind of cut in and end that slight little run. Now, the road does underpass there, and we'll kind of keep that fashion going in too. So if it ends there, where is my 10? Oh, it's okay, it's smack bang here. So we'll end that there. And I wonder if I can... See, this is a tough one right now. Because I could choose to bend... Do you know what? I can use the connection tool. If I ran that to there, let's just see if this connection tool plays ball. Which, by the looks of it, it's going to. And that's the best I'm going to get it in. But it's... I mean, it works. In a weird way, it works. And I can bring that out. I can bring that out. And then ultimately... 6 by 8. 6. Oh, hang on, I'm going the wrong way. 8. Okay, 7 by 7 is the best I can do there. 5. 6 by 5. There we go. Ends at. It all runs together, but it doesn't run together, which is interesting. Now we're on the canal side as well. Very interesting. Very interesting to say the least. Now, I'm wondering if me doing this and having that connection there has now forced all this industrial traffic to drive this way. I mean, it might free up that. It's pretty much what they were using beforehand. We'll see. We'll see. But of course, we've got to do our magic first anyway. So, commercial. Which we have a tram stop around here too. So, that's going to be handy for the public transport side of things. So, all commercial shopping near the canal. It will be a tourist hotspot. And we'll bring it to there. We'll run that down on this side. It's going to be glorious. So, then with the residential. So, it's not going to be the most desired location to live, this area. Because of the... where it's situated between multiple industrial areas. But they might like the fact that they're near all the kind of services. They're by the canal too. Good highway connection. This might be your working professionals. This is where they live. That's what it could be. It could be where those guys live. So let that build up. Man, we're really filling all the little nooks and crannies in right now. We're up to 356,000. I feel like to get to 400,000, we are going to have to zone quite a substantial residential area. But I think it's more the case of just finessing and finishing some of the areas that we do have. So I know we're going to have to... Where does that run there? Yeah. So I know we're going to have to at some point think about... Oh, that's annoying. Hold on, hold on. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, I think I'm good. Damn. I don't know if you could tell right now, but I am currently ill. Oh, I'm so ill. I got the man flu. Now, I know all men are thinking the same thing. Yo, Seniac. The man flu? That is so bad right now. How are you even surviving? Well, guys, I'm just built different. Right, I'm going to give it like that. I'm going to have that kind of dominant edge looking over. I kind of like the side of that. Because then the buildings in the street are looking down on it, which look pretty cool. So, how much do I want to interrupt that area? Probably not too much, as it becomes quite a important through road to some peeps. But I will bring this down to 30. I'll bring this down to 30 as well. Do the same thing here, because you want to try and keep that as free as possible, because it does look like a very, very important route. It does look very, very important. So I think I will drag this under. And that's a foot. Okay, if I do a... Okay, that is a 10 away. But I'm going to do it like this. Something a little bit different all over again. And then resi it. But very importantly, very, very importantly, drop some commercial in the center where I feel like the majority of the peeps are going to be. Now, I know we're going to see a lot of traffic, but don't get it twisted. Because at the moment, right, I've got tens of thousands of people moving in. So, we're going to see traffic for days for quite some time. We really are, so don't get worried too much about that. Going to bring the trees going around. So, once everyone's moved in and the traffic has settled down, then we'll see where we have the traffic issues. Then we'll see where we've got them. Well, I don't want it on the kind of gravelly section there. There we go. So don't worry too much about that. But like I said, the population is vastly growing. Vastly growing right now. I've got so many residents moving in. I mean, the sheer size of the city at this point is getting huge. We're expanding in vast areas and vast regions. It's quite exciting. I'm not even going to lie to you right now. It is quite exciting. So, the expansions must continue. There's no question about it. To reach these population maxes, I've got to continue these guys. Now, are we keeping this smaller canal in? Because I did toy with the idea of maybe making ships pass through this. I don't truly know yet. So I think I'm going to keep this edge a little bit more free. We'll just kind of see what happens. Now, are they still building over here? What seems to go on over here? They stopped building. I did zone it, didn't I? Yeah. Are they just waiting their turn because this area is still building up? Maybe that's what it is. Can I fast forward it? I mean, if this is what the game considers fast forwarding at this moment, then yeah, I'm fast forwarded. Okay. Okay. So, we're up to now then, 361,000 residents. I kind of do want to try and push it to 400,000. But like when it comes to the high density, you are slightly then starting to run out of space. Now, we have no residents living over on this side. But we do have this beautiful Metro Plaza station right here. Only problem is, this water needs to kind of pass through. But I don't know where it's going to go. It might even just end there. I mean, the reason for it passing through would have been... But then we got this here. So, I do apologise, guys, for coughing and sniffing. I just got the man flu. You know how it is. So, yeah, I can keep that in there. I think I might just end that as it is. And not have it run anywhere further. Because the exit there, what's the point of having an additional one? Because it doesn't really change much. It doesn't really change much, does it? So, yeah, I think we'll kind of stick to this then. So, that is there. Have I connected to it? I have connected to it. My only concerns would have been, would I have needed a roundabout there? But it depends on how you kind of build this up. So if I just kind of come up, I'm going to need to kind of figure out what's the distance. So if I went by a 41 is what I need to do. Another 40 and then in. And then literally delete all of this. So that there is an 11. So we're back to the old grid format, boys. But this is where we're going to have a lot of luck. So I think I'll run that one down. I'm not going to connect on this side, because I don't want to use it as a complete and utter through route. Oh, let's try that again. But I do need to kind of get them to utilize this station a little bit easier. So I might do something like this. I might stick down the path going around. Like that, just to make it as accessible as it potentially can be to get over here. Just something as crazy as this. Just so it kind of feels like a big plaza area that they're entering. And that will then kind of satisfy the difference in how the landscape all pretty much changes. So a 30 that way, which I'll use a 30 to connect just here. So this vast area here, we can metropolize it. And we'll see benefits in doing so. And eventually, we will set up all the kind of additional tram lines and whatnot. So we'll kind of connect just to here. End that to there. So, do I want a connection here? I'm thinking, how much is it going to change things? Unless I kind of brought the connection out this way. Like, for example, if I brought it out here. That there is a 22. So that will make this bend a 10 by 10-ish. I know it's a 9 there, but that will work fine. And then what if I deleted you? 7 by 7. Just to kind of stop it being a complete through road and make the road slightly feel longer. So not kind of coming down here, doing a right, going up there. Because this road should be a faster speed. It should be anyway. I mean, what is the speed limit? It's a 50 versus a 40. I don't think that's enough to kind of change it. So I'll make that a complete 20. And I might make this road here a 60. So it tricks them into thinking that this road going this way, going that way round, is quicker than going down here. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of forcing them to think like that. So this is a good start. This is where we're going to have a lot of residential, by the way. And it will bleed into this area. But this will be like a good start for it. So a 10. So connect you over. And we'll eventually fine-tune this lake as well. Just kind of make it end a lot nicer. So that will run into there. That will run into there. We'll anarchy that through because we'll eventually move that. That's one of our heating systems. We'll kind of make it all connected. Kind of all like intertwined. So we'll run that to there. We'll then start going down in this direction. Now this is all elevated, so you don't really see much of it change in terms of down below. It's just like the trains are just elevated going through all the skyscraper buildings. It's just part of the fun of this area. So that would then run to here, which I'll have to run it to there, and we'll only make the through routes connect over to it. Then we'll come down again. And so what that's then a 40. So that will be the connecting joint there. And then off we continue. So do you reckon that will give us a lot of residents? I think so. I think so. If I was to do another 40 and connect in, it would happen there. Which will be here. Is that, do you reckon that's too close for that? We'll see. We'll see if that was a good decision or a bad decision. But I'm going to run all that through. Maximizing it as much as I can. It's so boring, the grids. But when you got to build a megaropolis like I am, you kind of have to stick to them to a certain degree. I think I might use this one then. To cut through. Just to kind of change the image slightly. See, I like them, but at the same time I don't like them. But we all understand what I'm trying to attempt here. We all understand it. So it has to be like this, unfortunately. Right, we're going to squeeze in all the residential. In the not so favourable places, we'll drop in the commercial. So we'll try and get as much of this in. So the not so favourable places, places that will be noisy, that will be polluty, we can drop in residential. I'm actually going to run residential down here. Down to there. I'm going to run it down to there as well. We shall use the paint bucket tool now. Just run along here. Going all the way around the edge. Just like that. And then for the commercial side of it then, we'll run it all the way up to there. Nice big strip of it. Run a nice big shopping strip that would go through this area. Just to utilize the awkwardness of all of this. And then I'm going to run offices down to here. I'll run some offices just down here. And then I'm going to finalize this as it transitions into the industrial area. I'll drop some offices there. Now, granted, that is our only connection section there. We will get more stuff that leads to it. But at least these guys will be connected from day one with the metro line. There will be other ones that I add in. But a majority of them should be able to walk to it. But this is a huge area we're now implementing. My only concerns with this area is, one, that would have needed to be a roundabout, but that's there. And two, that is a little bit too close to the on and off ramp just there. But like I said before previously, we'll just see what happens. I'm not sure how much traffic is going to be coming from this, considering that we have one there. They're probably coming from the inner city area. Oh, and this too. Making sure that this doesn't become the rat run. So we'll see what happens. They've not long just kind of built up all this little section. So again, you got to give that time to build. Now, you can see there's a lot of traffic here, but like I said before, it's everyone initially moving in. It's like we've now built all this area up right now. The traffic's dying down, even though there's a lot coming in still. But you got to give it time. Got to give it time. We've got some death on the go right now. So this is the only negative of using the Super Demand mod. Everybody moves in together, meaning everybody dies together. So that's how you get death waves. But this now will start to build up anyway. We've got 363,000 residents, which will continue to grow. Now, what I'm excited about next episode is seeing, once I turn the super demand off, then truly, what are the demands? Did I place too many residents in? Did I place too many kind of jobs or commercial buildings in? And I need to put even more residents in? So it's quite fun to see the actual city kind of try and stabilize itself. It is quite fun to see it stabilize itself. But this might take some time. So while it takes some time, we are going to need some services in this area too. So the only services that I haven't implemented recently is, of course, the school systems. So police. Now fire, we probably need to do multiple to cover multiple areas. So I'm going to squeeze one just there. And then we'll do one just there. So it's on the through road to kind of get through to all these areas, which is kind of handy. Hospital. I'm going to drop just there. Nice little good coverage. Now, death care in this area, it's non-existent. I'm going to probably utilize this area as a nice little crematorium area, so I'll save it. But in terms of schooling anyway, let's squeeze some in. So let's do it in the non-desirable areas for the building works. Right, I'm doing the square of elementary schools just here. Did not get any over here right now, so we'll try and implement as many of these as we can. As best as we can. Because we have such a high capacity, but don't get fooled by that. I've just literally moved everybody in. So of course everyone's going to be demanding schools. But I can't satisfy everybody, so don't get it twisted. And we'll get some over here too in our little town. Drop a couple in. So high schools. Now high schools we can reach capacity a lot easier. We can definitely reach capacity a lot easier for the high schools. It's not that much of an issue for us. Squeezing it just there. And then using the same tactic. So we're almost at capacity right there, but we'll just, again, let it run its course. I don't want to educate everybody, because then you lose the low-paying workers. It's all about balance in this game. It's all about trying to balance things out. And that's ultimately what we're doing. This game is on a scales, and we're just trying to balance in it. But I like how the train line now runs through this area. They're not going to like that, but I like it. Yeah. I kind of like how it runs. So, interesting. Very interesting, boys. Very interesting. Now, do I dare look at city limits? Whew, damn. We're actually not doing too bad. We're actually not doing too bad. We've still got a lot to add in. Active vehicles. Oh, we're only a third of the way. We've still got plenty more active vehicles to go. So I don't know if there's any stress with that. If you want to pause it right now and take a look at my limits that I've got. I think we're pretty much okay. I think we are pretty much okay. We're getting 3,500 a week right now. We need up to 370. Only 30,000 ultimately away from 400,000. So we are slowly getting there. This area is going to be up nice. I mean, what would be a big help too is eventually when I start building monuments and then beautifying the place and giving them all education, which I don't really want to give them all education. Because you, like I said, you lose the low-paying jobs, and then a lot of people become unemployed. But that's when it's going to really start. I mean, it's more the leisure facilities. That's when it's going to really start then to upgrade and expand everything, and then maximizing all the buildings that we do have. But that's the end game stuff. I won't place that in until we come to the end of the series, when I really need to give the city the biggest boost possible to potentially get 1 million residents. So these guys are always screaming right now that there's not enough buyers for the products. And these guys are screaming for, there's not enough raw materials. Well, there's a lot of raw materials over here. I don't know what you're talking about right now. But I think they might need to a little bit of a helping hand. Maybe I place down my first unique factory ever. And that could be this. But you would need metals. I mean, metal's not a problem. A petroleum refinery. It's a very large building. It is a very large building. But now we'll save it. We'll save it right now. But yeah, they've got plenty of exploitation areas. I just feel like I need to. I mean, but then these are also complaining on the buys for the products. So that's when you do need to start building the unique factories and stuff like that, so we can start sucking more out of it, rather than just heavily relying on imports and exports. But I'm yet to see anybody use this, by the way. Would these be the guys that use it, or are they going to a plane? They're all turning right, apart from the police car. Apart from the police car right now, they're all turning right. They're all turning right. Okay, okay. So, 374,000 residents. Look at that, we're now 25,000 away. 25,000 away. So, there should still be moving in this area anyway. This area is now all coming together. Look how many people we got moving in a week. By that logic, it's going to take us 5 weeks. That's a lot of people, isn't it? Now, do I tree this little kind of section off? I feel like we should be. Get some beautiful trees in. Really extend and expand that. Oh, you've got to pause it when you place trees in. There's no ifs or buts about it. You can't have the game in play mode and place down trees. It don't work, boy. It don't work right now. It really don't work. Okay. But yeah, I think this industrial area needs a little bit more work with it. Oh, how did our farming area do since we burnt it down? Now, what's interesting is these guys don't complain as much. It's just kind of interesting how the oil industries complain. Maybe I just need more buildings, more exports. Probably I need good shipping nearby. So maybe we will think. Do you know? We probably will think about doing some shipping to get the goods in and out, because they're not loving this. I mean, I could store it locally, but then that will just get filled up. The next one will, and then the next one will get filled up, and it's not really doing anything for us. And these guys are complaining about there's not enough buyers for the product. So you're kind of at a loss, aren't you? Kind of gets you at a little bit of a loss. But it's not our problem at the minute. It's not our problem just yet. So, yes, the expansions have continued to rise. I thought this was going to be an issue, but it turns out not too much. Or is it the fact that no one's really moved in just yet? Everyone's still on their way. No, there's definitely people moving in. There's definitely people still moving in right now. But how quiet is over here? Now, that shows me that no one's really moved in just yet. They're on their way. They're on their way, boys. I mean, then again, they could be using this. 133 people using it. No one's really at the stop just yet. Any trains on the way? None that I can see at the minute. Okay, okay. You do your thing. You do your thing. We'll see what happens as time goes on. So, I want to zone this area, but I don't know if I'm going to expand this. No, we'll leave it as it is. We shall leave it. So while we're waiting for the game then to add in as many residents as it possibly can, we're going to take a look now at some of our all of our needs. Power, we're pretty much good for now. Water, ooh, okay. Okay. Our water consumption is above our capacity. We've got to redo this area. So now that I can trim this, I might actually go down this way and then turn it in that way so it becomes the inlet that way, and then do a whole other pumping kind of section because our water is very close. Okay, that's something we need to look at. Our garbage is always an issue, and we're at maximum capacity, so we do need to add some more in. Education levels, 35% highly educated. I do want to keep some people uneducated for the low paying jobs. It's very important that we do so. Happiness. It's just the commercial side of things I'm not that happy. Healthcare. We've got a lot of sick people, but hopefully they can be handled. Deaf care. A lot of deaf, but again, hopefully they can be handled. Lots of childbirth a week. The average lifespan at the minute is 73. That's not bad considering we haven't really catered towards any of them. Wind, that doesn't really matter. Now, the traffic is 76%. Interesting. But everyone's moving in right now, so it is what it is. Average ground pollution. There's no drinking water pollution, which is really important. Noise pollution. Oh, don't even look at that. Don't even look at that right now. Crime. We're going to have to build some more jails as well. Public transport. We have 7. I mean, considering it's a huge city, not many people are using public transport. Mental. 16% unemployed, so I definitely need to build more jobs. Definitely need to build more jobs. Even though there's like 14,000 jobs available, they don't want to take it. But is that because they could be too educated? Could it be they're not educated enough? You know, it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Swings and roundabouts. So here is the land value. It's interesting to see the land value. It's mainly near the central park areas. If it's near a park area, it's good. So what does that tell you? Build more park areas with high leisure. Yeah, I mean, we already know that anyway. We already know that anyway, boys. The oil for days. Oil for days. Haven't really done any of them. Leisure, that's all our leisure stuff. We do need to increase the leisure anyway. Terrain height, heating. Even though we don't need heating, we still have to build it in, which is really weird. I don't get it. I haven't done any road maintenance stuff either, and the condition of everything is all at normal. It would be nice to boost a lot of it. There's alright. We don't really have any escape routes anyway. This is radio coverage. Don't really have any radio stuff. Nor do we have any destruction. Nor have we have any disaster detection. Traffic routes. You have to kind of click anything individually. Now we complain about we don't have enough water. Right, we're gonna have to add some water in. We knew it was gonna happen, boys. We knew it was gonna happen. But not this early. Right, 2 in. Should be sufficient enough just for now to see us through. It should be sufficient enough just for now. So there we go. Puts us back in the green. And then all of the city is fine again. Tourism. We're getting 1,600 tourists. We got no tours on the go. We don't really have... Well, we do have a little bit of park maintenance. No, we don't, do we? No. So that would be nice to eventually boost it. Industrial areas, we know where they are. They're all over here and all that kind of jazz. Mail, we don't really have any mail being sorted. That's something else we should be getting done. Now, this is the interesting one. Fish. Anchovies. Salmon. Shellfish. A little bit of tuna. So we do have a little bit of it, but we're gonna be having to fish in many different areas to kind of get a little bit of everything right now. We really are. We really are, boys. That's going to take some time. It truly is. Truly is going to take some time. So, I think we'll end it here, guys. The way it's going, we're going to be at 400,000 before we know it. We really are right now going to be at 400,000 residents before we know it. Lots of these areas are going to be built up. We're going to turn the Super Demand mod off next episode anyway. And then we'll kind of assess the damage of what's actually truly happened and what we've kind of got done, and then we'll try and fix the city accordingly. But damn, we're like almost 40% of the way to our goal. It feels like a lifetime away, but trust me, a lot of it doesn't mean I gotta add in more zoning. Just dropping down one of the monuments that increases the land value would do a lot to raise the population. Just takes time. It just takes time. And on that note, we are going to end it for here, guys. Hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, smash that like button down below. Until next time, I see you all soon. So...